Hello and welcome back to our Let's Play of Gnomoria. Here we are back at the first hay. See, it is as we left it. So we've got a blossoming kingdom starting here. As we saw at the end of last episode, we were beginning to first explore the depths. Hopefully we don't strike any water on our way down. You'll notice a couple things as we look down here. A, the water continues a ways down, and B, you can see here that we can see already some lapis lazuli, however you want to say that. It's a type of stone, and we can see that we have stone exposed here, even on the -2 level. So I'm hoping that as we dig down on our side of the little lake here, we will find some stone of our own fairly early. Often in games you have to dig all the way down to -7, -8 before you find stone. And as you get down to those levels, you also expose yourselves to attack, more or less. Enemies will spawn on the -7 level or below, for the most part, which is not a good thing. We want to avoid that. As for the randomly wandering enemies, during the spring of the first year, we're immune. We will not be attacked by anything, not even wild animals. During the summer, it's pretty likely that at least some wild animals will spawn. Maybe a bear or a honey badger. The other one is a monitor lizard. So one of those may roam into our camp, which is probably okay. We can probably handle them. A bear might be a tall order, but yeah, we'll be okay. Once we get into the end of summer, the beginning of fall or autumn, depending on your tradition, we will more than likely come under at least one attack by goblins. And the propensity for your kingdom being attacked by goblins depends on its value. So we see here, we go to our kingdom overview. The things in our stocks right now are worth 1748 currency, which I assume would be like gold pieces or dollars or pesos, however you want to say it. As we build things, obviously our construction worth will increase, and as we gather more materials and equipment, the stock worth increases, but then again, as we burn through our food and whatnot, that will also decrease. So the higher your overall combined kingdom worth, two things happen. One, you are more likely to attract more immigrants, called nomads. And two, you are more likely to be attacked by stronger bands of wandering goblins, or mants, or golems, or beetles, or whatnot. There are a number of pretty cool enemies in the game. I haven't seen all of them just yet, but I am sure by the time that the first hay gets its terrible death at the hands of invaders, or by the time we see it through to success, we will see all of these enemies, especially as we get digging down in the lower levels. So, a couple tabs we might want to check out here before we get going today. We just looked at the kingdom overview. Gives us a ballpark on our population and how much other things we have running around. We can always go back and check out our world seed by looking here, and keep an eye on our worth to make sure we're not attracting enemies that are stronger than we can handle. Go to the diplomacy tab. We can host ambassadors from other nations in an attempt to get merchants from there so that we can trade and buy things. Now, this is going to be a little bit further down along the line, because we will unfortunately need to give the ambassador some quarters with, like a bed and a door and, important things. So we don't have the technology for that just yet. So later on, we will be hosting ambassadors and trading with merchants. Workshops we'll get into in a little bit. That's what we do to turn our raw materials into actual cool stuff. We see here our 2 farms, and you may have noticed earlier that I named each item instead of just leaving it as the default farm. That allows me to know what we have when we go to these lists, as well as the yak lands here in our pastures list. Now rooms are going to show the special areas we designate. For example, we mentioned ambassadors need personal quarters. Well, we'd be able to look through our list of personal quarters and such. Stocks is our ability to just look through everything we have. And unfortunately, I don't think anything's going to show up because none of it is in a stockpile at the moment. But if we just look at goods, we can see we've got 156 clumps of dirt from that mining we just did. Those logs we just cut down. We still have the seeds because they haven't planted the fields yet. Remind me we need to do some cotton. The cotton that we clipped from these wild plants down here is sitting on the floor. And we can get a good look at what we have. Now this list up here in the top left where it says food and drink, we can actually create new trackers for that if we so desire. For example, we could add a new one and call it wood stuff, woodstuffs, and change that to look for logs. Or maybe wood plank stuff. Wood plank stuffs, and look for planks. Now, we haven't made any workshops, so we don't have anywhere to refine our wood logs into planks yet. So obviously that's 0. But we can see that we have an eyeball of, we have 20 logs right now, which is kind of neat. Anyway, we'll remove those for now. I'm sure we'll have a good use for that kind of stuff later. But you can go through any item in the game and track, well, anything, basically. I have no training dummies or bellows. And you can name them whatever you want. It's going to track it in real time. As soon as we craft a bellows or a training dummy, that would come up to 1, for example. We'll leave it at food and drink for now because those are the necessities, but later on we're going to want to track some things. Now let's take a look and see what the future holds for Gnomoria. Well, let's see what the future holds for the first hay. So the plan for now will more than likely be to use the back area of our lands and build up a little bit of a dirt berm along here, a little bit of a sally port in the back for entrance to the back, and build that up and hopefully have a little bit of a wooden palisade on top, again with our sally port and a door in the wall there. And back in here we will have our wood farm, a grove of pine trees. We will have a renewable source of wood for our kingdom there. We already have our fields kind of set up with our pasture here, which will more than likely span down to the grove, and we end up terraforming this hill, and it may even extend out that way. This area, once we get another animal later on in the game, can be a secondary pasture for alpacas or emus or whatever else we can get our greedy little gnome hands on. And then the area above that will certainly be our farming area. We already have a couple fields set up. I think eventually we'll want to convert to having wheat all through here. And majority of the area filled up with strawberries. Just south of our groves of orange trees. Apple trees. that's all in. And as we move farther up, we also want to close in the other end of our little box valley. We'll probably do that by terraforming the side of this hill a bit. And bringing a wall over in some manner, with more of a grand sweeping entrance here to be the actual main entrance of our kingdom. A couple statues and a grand promenade. And more than likely, mechanically speaking, once we get into that, we may set our traps along the stretch. And our guard post will be here. Maybe a big guard tower. And then a winding path through the orchards leading to the entrance of our kingdom. Now we're also going to have to go through this little hillock to the right and make sure we basically make this inaccessible from this side. We do that by removing all the little ramps that allow you to climb up the side of the hill. In this game, none of the enemies can actually climb up the 6-foot rise unless there's a ramp or a stairway. So if we remove all the ramps around here, our other wall is going to come out that direction. If we remove all the other ramps, then it effectively becomes a wall for us as well. And then we just have to defend our door down here and our grand entrance there. Okay, so a couple items of business left to take care of here in the limited time we have left. We need to assign some orders because as we look at our population window, we've got 7 of our 9 gnomes are completely idle with nothing to do, so we need to fix that here. First off, we can use the comma and period keys by default to rotate the map around a quarter of the way. So 2 flips makes us all the way behind. So south is north and north is south, up is down. Dogs are living with cats. So now we're looking at what was the north side. This is where we had planned to build our grand entryway. Well, up here somewhere. We're going to go to terrain. We're going to go to remove ramp. And that will effectively allow us, as I said, to cut off this area from being accessible from the outside. So we're going to go through and grab all of these and secure our borders. A couple dark ones trying to sneak in on me there. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how far over we should go. Probably till here. So that'll give our miners and our builders something to do, I believe. We'll flip back around, so we're back at the orientation we remember. And let's work on getting kind of a dirt berm built up. And then we'll build our wooden palisade on top of that. So we'll say build, terrain, build a wall. Use all of that wonderful dirt we have built up now. Make sure we get on the correct layer here. And I think we're going to go out this direction. You'll notice where we run into trees or plants, we can't go over top of those. That's okay. We will deal with that later after we clear out those things. We're going to go out to there, and where we remove that ramp, we'll put a nice little dirt wall there to plug that little gap as well. Since we're here, we're going to go to agriculture. We're going to chop down this tree that's in our way, and we're going to forage out these strawberries. Yummy, yummy strawberries that are in our way as well. So with luck, that should allow us to, also we're going to get rid of these ramps. There we go. That should secure us for now. We'll have to fill in this area and then make sure we fill in this top side as well. But for now, that gives us all something to do. And we'll unpause it for a little bit. You can hear the swish swish of our guys building up our walls and knocking down our ramps. As we look at our population now, everybody but the woodcutters is doing something. Actually, we're going to go into the rancher. We'll say we're just setting general properties for that profession. Rancher can also be a, let's see, can also do some farming. So those two go pretty well together. Now we'll have 3 people doing that. And let's also chop a couple more of these trees up here. Our woodcutters have something to do. Chop, chop. So our guys are running back down underground to grab dirt. Could create a stockpile and bring a bunch of dirt here from out there, but we're going to need it up there as well, so not much point to that. And we'll see as our miners come around that they have indeed chopped down all the dirt, make our kingdom inaccessible from the side. So we're going to go back to our build wall and plug in the holes that we've created. There and there. Here, there, and everywhere. We're going to add a dirt wall there as well. Just so there's no chance of anybody coming in diagonally there. Put them on hyperspeed there for a moment and let them do their thing. And they're smartly utilizing the closest dirt, which is from, you guessed it, the ramps we just made. Our woodcutter appears to be bored again, as are our miners. Let's go down back into here. Well, actually, we'll have them work on the top side still. So let's flip around so we can see what we have to work with. We're going to try and get this entire section kind of cleaned up. So let's go remove ramps again. I'm not sure where our wall is going to come over. We're just going to take out all the ramps right here for now. And then likely build a wall kind of up this direction, up the side of this hill. That'll come later, of course. Yeah, I think we're going to come here, there. So let's get rid of a couple more ramps. Just to play it safe, we can always add them back later. Let our guys get to work. Dig, dig, dig. And you'll notice also that this guy is working faster than this guy. Why is that? That's Wos is working faster than Zinc. Let's take a look at him right now. Each gnome in Gnomoria has its skills in just about every action that you can have him do. So you notice this guy's got a mining of 35, whereas Zinc, probably lower. Yeah, Zinc's got a mining of 28. So WOS is going to be automatically quicker. And it shows. Alright, as darkness descends upon our kingdom for the first night, I think, yes, the sunset right there. It is time for us to end this episode. And next time, we will plan to get our grove set up perhaps, finish walling off our encampment, and dig down into the depths. This has been TH Pharmacist. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.